Hello students, welcome back. How are you doing? I hope you are doing good. So in this part, we will be discussing about how to prepare a given phenol. For example, you have chlorobenzene, how to get a phenol, right? So that reaction you will be understanding in this part. Not only that, you will be learning different techniques to prepare a given ether, right? So why to waste our time? Let's start with our part. Preparation of phenols. So what are the different methods to prepare phenols? The first thing is by hydrolysis of chlorobenzene. Second, by sodium benzene sulfonate. So if you have sodium benzene sulfonate, I can get a phenol. Next, benzene diazonium chloride. I just told you in the previous part the importance of benzene diazonium chloride, and you can see its importance, one of its importance to convert into phenol. Next, from cumene hydroperoxide. So you can convert your cumene hydroperoxide into phenol. So hydrolysis of chlorobenzene, it's called Dow's process. So what is happening in Dow's process is that I have chlorobenzene, that chlorobenzene is heated with NaOH. So if you have a chlorobenzene here, that chlorobenzene is actually heated with your NaOH. And once you get NaOH, and once you react with NaOH, you will get sodium phenoxide. So this is a sodium phenoxide, and once you get sodium phenoxide, if I just simply hydrolyze it, I will be getting a phenol. Next, from sodium benzene sulfonate. The steps involved are, first is benzene is sulfonated with oleum to form benzyl sulfonic acid, and you can see here. So first is actually benzene can be sulfonated with oleum, and you will get this benzene sulfonic acid, and once you get this benzene sulfonic acid, it is converted into what? It is converted into sodium phenoxide and heating with molten NaOH. You are actually fusing it so that you will get this sodium phenoxide, and just hydrolyze it, just acidification of this gives you phenol. The important reaction is from benzene diazonium chloride. So aromatic primary amine with nitrous acid. What is nitrous acid? Nitrous acid is HNO2. So you have HNO2. If it is treated at 273 and 278 Kelvin, you will get a diazonium salt. So what is diazonium salt? This is the diazonium salt. This is the diazonium salt, which is important. So this diazonium salt, just hydrolyze it. Just hydrolyze your diazonium salt. You will be getting your phenol, right? So the importance is where you are getting this diazonium salt from. I am getting my diazonium salt from my aromatic primary amine. And what is aromatic primary amine? Aromatic primary amine is this. If I NH2, this is aromatic primary amine. So just react with HNO2, just react this with HNO2. What is happening? You can use NaNO2 and HCl also in presence of HNO2. Then at a temperature of 273 and 278 Kelvin, I will get my diazonium salt, and this is my diazonium salt. And simply after just getting diazonium salt, you just hydrolyze it, you will be getting a phenol. And remember, you will be getting a nitrogen gas in this process. From cumene hydroperoxide. So cumene is obtained from propene and benzene. What is cumene? So for example, you have benzene. And you have a propene. So this cumene, you will get this cumene from your benzene and propene in the presence of H3PO4. You need H3PO4 and you will get cumene in this process. So as soon as you get cumene, just oxidize it. So once you oxidize it, you will get cumene hydroperoxide. And after getting cumene hydroperoxide, just hydrolyze it. You will get a phenol. And not only that, in this process you will get a ketone. This is a ketone, this is a propanone. So this is how you can convert your benzene, and in presence of propene you will get a phenol. So next we will move on to the preparation of ethers. So what are the different methods to prepare ethers? One is that from 1 degree alcohol, second from alkene, third from your Williamson synthesis. So from 1 degree alcohol, how to get an ether? Just react it with H2SO4. So you have 1 degree alcohol, so two such 1 degree alcohols just react in presence of H2SO4, right? So what happens is your dehydration takes place and H2O is removed, and once H2O is removed, the remaining thing is you have R, O and R. So you will get a symmetrical ether. Next, with diazomethane, you have an alcohol and this is a diazomethane, and just react your alcohol with diazomethane, you will be again getting your ether. Remember, you are getting a nitrogen in this process. So alcohols with at least one hydrogen at fourth carbon gives 5-membered cyclic ether. So it is a free radical reaction which is initiated by heat and light. So you know that any free radical reaction can be initiated by heat or light. So for example, you have an alcohol, that alcohol in presence of your PbOAC4 or in presence of light. This is important. You are actually generating a free radical, and at a certain temperature, 80 degrees, you will get a tetrahydrofuran. From alkene, right? We know that we can generate an ether from alkene also. So alkenes reacts with alcohols in presence of acid to give ether. So this is called acid catalyzed reaction of an alcohol. Of an alkene. So you have an alkene, you have an alcohol, and you have an acidic medium. It gets catalyzed to give a resulting ether. Next, alkoxymercuration, demercuration. So you have an alkene, you are doing alkoxymercuration. So you are doing mercuration, that to alkoxymercuration you can see here an alcohol and mercury, and demercuration you are reducing it, you will get given ether. Very important synthesis, Williamson synthesis. So Williamson synthesis nothing but it is an SN2 reaction of alkoxide with alkyl halide or alkyl sulfate or alkyl sulfonate. For example, you have sodium salt, then what you are doing is just it undergoes SN2 reaction, right, of for any halide. For example, it can be alkyl halide or it can be alkyl sulfonate or it can be alkyl sulfate. So L can be what? L can be X, L can be SO2R, L can be OSO2OR. The alkoxide might be 1 degree, 2 degree or 3 degree, but remember the alkyl halide must be primary. And the important concept of Williamson synthesis is that if you have a tertiary alkyl halide, elimination occurs and a given alkene is formed. So students, finally we learned how to prepare a phenol and ether, right? So now we understood how to prepare an alcohol or a phenol or ether from different compounds. I hope you enjoyed this part, and in our next part we will be discussing about another important concept of your physical and chemical properties of your alcohols, phenols and ethers. Till then, just stay tuned to our sessions, okay? I hope you will do that, and take care. Goodbye.